From BVTV studios on the campus of Buena Vista University in Storm Lake, Iowa, this is BVTV News. Welcome to the first broadcast of BVTV News for the 2018-2019 school year. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Guy Tannenbaum. We begin tonight with coverage of the 2018 midterm election. On Thursday, October 18th, Buena Vista University hosted an early voting polling place in Siebens Science Center. Residents of BV County were able to exercise their right to vote and register to vote if they hadn't already. Regina Appleby, a BVU sophomore, was among those spearheading the effort to get the polling place to campus. For those who missed the opportunity to vote or to register to vote on campus the first time around, the polling place will be open once again on Election Day, Tuesday, November 6th, in the same location in the Science Center. On September 18th, the Buena Vista University Student Athlete Advisory Committee, or SAC, announced its plans to promote mental health literacy on campus for the current academic year. SAC President Hannah Appleseth's intention for the initiative is to promote preventative care and mental health awareness, especially among student athletes. A graduate student in BV's mental health counseling program, she wants to help student athletes recognize signs and symptoms of mental illnesses in order to practice coping methods themselves or be able to help out a friend or a teammate. In cooperation with Editor-in-Chief of the TAC, Olivia Wiesler, our reporter, Nick Henricks, has the story.
The 2016 NCAA Goals Study reported that 30% of student athletes self-reported that they were intensely overwhelmed within a month. 1/3 reported that they were extremely exhausted to do any other tasks, and 1/4 said that they were mentally exhausted due to the demands of their sport.
According to a survey conducted by the University of Michigan, only 10% of student athletes seek mental health services, compared to 30% of all students. Brooks Stevens, a junior baseball player, might have an idea as to why this troubling trend is evident.
I think a huge part of it is the fact that student athletes generally feel very independent, and they've succeeded in lots of things in their life, and that's why they're at the level they are today. And sometimes when they're backed into a corner and they feel overwhelmed with things, they don't always want to ask for help.
Buena Vista offers students great opportunities to be involved with multiple extracurricular activities off the field and in the classroom. Sophomore basketball player Michael DeMars explains that with everything that can be going on in a student athlete's life, stress is natural.
It's okay to be not okay sometimes. Like if you're just stressing about something and you're not okay, it's not a bad thing to go get help.
Any student athlete, wants to succeed in everything they do. And when you're putting the added pressure of succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and having a good social life with that, I think sometimes it can just get, very overwhelming.
Now, SAC is hoping to have events throughout the rest of the year to give student athletes a better chance to discuss mental health issues. They're hoping that by starting the conversation, that other organizations will follow in suit. For BVTV, I'm Nick Henricks.
Thanks, Nick. Work on the renovation of Siebens Forum began in May of this year and is still going strong. According to the university, the project was driven by students and their evolving needs and desires. In order to create a more student-centered environment, BVU created a game room underground in the Forum, in between Pierce and White Halls and the Servery. A variety of games, including classic skee-ball, Pac-Man, ping pong, asteroids, and more, were added for students to enjoy alone or with their friends. For student insight on the game room and more footage, check out bvtac.com for a multimedia piece produced by Zach Hess and Kimberly Diaz. And now it's time to get caught up on what's been happening in the world of Beaver sports with our very own Tanner Frost. Tanner.
It's been an exciting year of Buena Vista athletics, and as many fall seasons wind down, the winter sports are preparing for their first games. The Buena Vista football team began their year hot, winning their first game against Hamline University on a Thursday night under the lights. Week 2's close defeat versus Concordia ended the non-conference opponents for the year, but Week 3's major defeat against Wartburg saw the team begin to skid. Dropping their last 7 games, the football team now sits at 1-7 overall. However, currently in their bye week, the Beavers look to finish the year with 2 favorable games against Nebraska Wesleyan and Simpson in the next 2 weeks. Cole Miller and Eric Pacheco have been the standout performers for the year, smashing multiple records. Miller now sits in the second all-time spot in passing touchdowns in Buena Vista football history, and Pacheco holds 3 of the top 5 spots for receiving yards in one game. The men's soccer year has been disappointing, but they're still fighting for a conference tournament bid. Sitting at 1-14-1 overall and 1-5-1 in conference play, the team has lost 10 games by 1 goal only. Gumriak and Noah Bardwell lead the team with goals with 2 each. The women's soccer team's year has been more of the same story, posting a 1-13 record. Without a conference win on the year, they were knocked out of contention for the tournament 2 weeks ago. Holly Kugler and Valeria Cota lead the team's scores with 1 each. The BV volleyball team has already claimed their place in the American Rivers Conference tournament and currently sit at 13-10 overall, while both the men's and women's cross-country teams have competed across the Midwest throughout the fall. First-year head coach Aubrey Havlicek has led the team to a 3-2 conference record and looks to finish the year with the team's first-ever ARC tournament championship. Meanwhile, the cross-country squads have seen constant improvement under head coach Colton Slack. The men's and women's golf teams concluded their season 2 weeks ago and placed multiple members in the top spots in the conference championships. Anthony Gallagher and Emily Kim stood out for the 2 squads. And finally, the men's and women's basketball teams are preparing for their upcoming seasons, alongside the wrestling team whose opening match against Loris is fast approaching. Back to you, Guy.
Thanks, Tanner. That's awesome. We end tonight with headlines from the TAC, the student news site of BVU. On October 11th, Melt and Black Student Union held a Halloween costume event titled Cultural Appropriation. The TAC's Hannah Kramer was there. She wrote that the event provided a discussion about what costumes are appropriate and what are offensive to certain cultures. To disseminate ideas of multiculturalism, BSU played videos hoping to help educate BVU students on cultural appropriation. Next, Ella Wiebush reported on BVU's Student Senate President Alan Maldonado's proposal to put a water fountain in the suites. Maldonado aims to alleviate suite residents' concerns about not having a water fountain near their housing arrangements. To fund this project, the school has cited a $13,000 maintenance cost to tear down walls and realign the pipes. When it came to the technical side of the proposal, Maldonado said that Student Senate and other organizations hope to raise $5,000 in order to help the school pay for the completion of the project. Finally, Who's Who in Beaver Sports this week by Allie Hartman covers senior basketball player Connor Winkleman. For more campus news, visit www.bvtac.com. That's it for this edition of BVTV News. Thanks for watching. I'm Guy Tannenbaum. Good night. Yeah, that's good.